Hey, history lovers and seekers of the strange. You know those nursery rhymes we sang as kids, skipping in circles or clapping to the beat. They seem so innocent with their catchy tunes and silly words. But hold on tight, because today we're diving into the twisted, not-so-kid-friendly stories behind 5 of your childhood favorites. These aren't lullabies. They're tales of plague, betrayal, war, and worse. Let's uncover the dark truths hidden in plain sight. First up, Ring Around the Rosie. You probably know the words.
Roses, a pocket full of roses, ashes, ashes.
Sounds like a fun game, right? Wrong. This rhyme is a chilling snapshot of the Black Death, the plague that tore through Europe in the 14th century, wiping out millions. The ring around the rosy refers to the red, ring-shaped rashes that appeared on victim skin, a death sentence back then. A pocket full of posies. People carried flowers to mask the stench of rotting bodies piling up in the streets, hoping they'd ward off the disease. Spoiler, they didn't. Ashes mimics the sound of bodies burning in pits when graveyards overflowed. And we all fall down. That's death, plain and simple. Entire towns wiped out. This rhyme was likely a way for survivors to cope, turning horror into a haunting melody. Next, let's talk about Mary, Mary, Quite Contrary. You sang it.
Mary, Mary, quite contrary, how does your garden grow? With silver bells and cockle shells and pretty maids all in a row.
Sounds like a sweet gardening tune, doesn't it? Think again. This is a sharp jab at Queen Mary I of England, better known as Bloody Mary, who ruled in the 1550s. She was a fierce Catholic in a time of religious turmoil, and her garden was her kingdom, growing through a brutal campaign to crush Protestantism. The silver bells and cockle shells, they're thought to be torture devices, thumbscrews of bells, and worse of the shells, targeting sensitive areas. The pretty maids all in a row? That's a grim reference to the over 280 Protestants she had burned at the stake, lined up for execution. This rhyme was a coded protest, sung by those who despised their bloody reign. It's less a nursery rhyme and more a Tudor-era burn. Now, onto London Bridge is Falling Down. You know the tune.
London Bridge is falling down, falling down.
It's about rebuilding the bridge with wood or stone, right? But the real story might be far darker. London Bridge was vital in medieval England, but it kept collapsing from fires, floods, or attacks. One theory ties this rhyme to a gruesome practice: foundation sacrifices. Some believe the human life was needed to stabilize a structure. Bones, even children's, have been found under similar bridges, suggesting someone was buried alive to protect it. Another theory points to a Viking raid in 1014, when Norse warriors led by Olaf reportedly pulled down the bridge to weaken London's defenses. The rebuilding verses reflect the city's stubborn fight to recover. Either way, this rhyme isn't about construction. It's about blood and destruction. Let's move to Humpty Dumpty. You sang.
Humpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall.
Thanks to storybooks, we picture an egg, but the real Humpty was no egg. He was a cannon. This rhyme comes from the English Civil War in the 1640s, during the siege of Colchester. Humpty Dumpty was a massive cannon used by royalist forces, perched on a wall to blast parliamentarian attackers. When the wall was hit, Humpty crashed down, shattered beyond repair. The king's horses and king's men couldn't fix it, and Colchester fell soon after. This rhyme captures the chaos of war and the futility of trying to salvage what's lost. Forget the egg. Humpty was a weapon, and his fall was a turning point in a brutal conflict. Finally, there's
Black sheep, have you any wool? Yes, sir, yes, sir. 3 bags full. One for the...
cute, right? Not so much. This rhyme is a bitter complaint about taxes in medieval England, likely from the 13th century. Wool was the backbone of the economy, and the crown taxed it heavily. The 3 bags full breaks it down. 1 for the king, 1 for the church, and 1 for farmer, or the little boy who lives down the lane. In truth, farmers got far less than a third after taxes and tithes. The black sheep might nod to rebellious farmers hiding their wool, or the value of black wool, which didn't need dyeing. This rhyme was a peasant's way of grumbling about being squeezed dry by the system. So, there you have it. 5 nursery rhymes that sound sweet but hide stories of plague, torture, war, sacrifice, and greed. These weren't just for kids. They were history's way of whispering its darkest secrets through catchy tunes. Makes you wonder what other rhymes we sang as kids are hiding grim truths. Got a nursery rhyme you want us to dig into? Drop in the comments. Hit that like button if this shook you. And stick around for more dives into history's shadows. Until next time, keep singing, but maybe check those lyrics first.